episode 57. Second part to another two-part series. This one on characters in work. She's quite conscientious, isn't she? Yeah, I would say so. What a character. I've never met anybody like her before. She can be pushy sometimes, you know what I mean? This and other words are going to be covered in today's episode, which is going to be short and sweet while we pack it all up nicely with the previous episode talking about describing work. So, let's get started right after this intro. Bow! Alright, let's get to it right away. So I used some language right at the beginning there that I'd like to cover to make sure that we know it. So, to be conscientious. When you say that somebody is conscientious, it means that they do all the steps required in the tasks related to their work. They don't skip any steps and they don't take any shortcuts. They are a conscientious worker. Alright, we also have a few synonym words that are very closely linked. Meticulous and thorough. Okay, now meticulous is another very nice word because we use it more often in the workplace, whereas conscientious is very often used with students in school. If you're a conscientious student, you're doing all the work. Meticulous means that you look at the details very closely. So if you have a job that's very technical and there's a lot of small steps or small details that you need to be very careful of, if you're a meticulous worker, you're going to look at all those little details and you're never going to skip the steps. If you are a professional athlete, meticulous means that you take very seriously all the small steps required in order for you to maintain your excellence in the sport. And that might mean things that people overlook or don't take as seriously, but give you the edge in being so good at the sport that you play. Boom. I know you like that definition. Let's move on. Oh, I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. Thorough. Thorough, again, means that maybe not for the athlete so much, but for a person who is thorough, it means, again, that they look at all the details, they don't skip anything. So a detective is thorough in the investigation. It means that they go through every aspect of the investigation looking for anything that might look like it's out of place or not done appropriately. Thorough, okay? Let's move on. I also talked about the word character. It means being an interesting or unusual person. If you say, he's a character, she's a character, like a character in a movie, a character is somebody who stands out in the group, at work, or in the crowd. Somebody that catches your attention, and for some reason, you're not attracted to them. I want to say attracted to them, but not romantically. Yes, attracted to them like they're interesting. You want to know more about them, okay? They're a little bit different than the normal people you're around, okay? He or she is a character at work. Pushy. You don't want to be this. You don't want to be this, okay? My wife is pushy sometimes. I think a lot of your wives, I think wives in general can be pushy sometimes with us husbands. Ooh, sorry, okay? But, people at work sometimes can be pushy. It means that they're trying hard to get what they want, okay? And they keep asking you. There's different ways of being pushy, but the most common way is you getting asked again and again for to do something for someone, okay? This is pushy, all right? Or asking again and again for you to do something at work, a task that needs to be done, and you keep putting it off, okay? It's not so negative. You shouldn't be insulted or offended if someone says that you're pushy, because you can be pushy for only very specific situations. You're not generally pushy like all the time. It's not a character trait like that. It's more like for certain instances you can be pushy about something, okay? When we're talking about character at work, we can use expressions like to come across as or make an impression. If you go to an interview, you want to make an impression because it's the first chance they get to meet you, okay? But you also want to make an impression, a good impression, a positive impression on your first day at work when you're meeting your new colleagues, okay? And that first impression, you might come across as rude or impolite or an egomaniac or quiet or shy or introverted, blah, 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 okay? So come across, it's what people think of you when they first might meet you or during one of the first interactions they have with you, okay? A couple more words before we finish up. Assertive, charisma, shrewd, astute, and quick-witted. So when you're quick-witted, it means that you're good at telling jokes that are funny, and very spontaneous. Quick-witted, like witty, it's kind of funny, yes, okay? So people always like this kind of person in the office, all right? Astute means very smart, very intelligent, comes up with, smart ideas for solving problems. Shrewd, you're showing good judgment. Sharp power of judgment. This is shrewd, okay? So that would be in an instance at work. If a person, you describe the person that way at work, they would be somebody who, again, is using their judgment very effectively in making decisions and what to do next when there's a step where people are unsure of what to do next, okay? Or where something is unexpected and happens, and again, most people don't know what to do. A shrewd person takes action, is assertive, which is my next word. Assertive, very common word in Polish, but it means in Polish more of like speaking out and saying no. Whereas in English, we use assertive to just say, take action. Like, don't hesitate, don't hold back, do something without being told what to do. It's very closely linked to using your initiative, which is a word I did in part 1 of this series. If you haven't watched it, no good. Check it out. You're gonna appreciate that one. All right? So, that's my language. I'm done. Boom, in and out. Boom, 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 boom. And he's out for the count. We're done. So I'll be back next week for episode 58. So pumped about it. You continue doing your lifelong work, lifelong teaching. Be proud teachers. And I'll see you next week for another episode. I'm Nandis, ESL Trailblazer. Make something happen. Burn to learn. Remember, lifelong learning. That's what it's all about. Take care. Have a great week. I'll be back. See you.